And when we got to the plane, everybody was like we all just said it at the same time. We was like, ooh.
Hi, my name is Dale Harrison.
Hi, I'm Dale, and you're watching.
That's it. I just want somebody. You know what I'm saying? See, the rest of us, we got the courage to wait on the Lord to send someone. But I'm like, Lord, please hurry up. Please, Lord. Because I am out here dating online, and these men need a hug, and they need it fast. You know what I'm saying? Do you know this one man told me, now this man is cute, and this man is sexy, and he was like, you know, if we go out a couple of times, now we just talking on the phone, if we go out a couple of times and we have chemistry and we don't have sex, or you don't let me have sex with you, I just assume that you are dealing with someone else and I don't call you anymore. I was like, oh, okay, well, thanks for letting me know you have AIDS, sir, okay, because you having sex with everybody you have chemistry with, you know how dangerous that is? You know how much chemistry, sir, yellow man, me and you having chemistry right now. That's why I keep telling you to focus on this bud. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, sir, you have AIDS, okay? You have AIDS, that's it. That is the bottom line. You have AIDS, sir. You out here having sex with everybody you got chemistry with. You cannot be out here having sex with everybody you got chemistry with. Like that is how Satan gets us. Like, chemistry is a liar. In fact, I have been rebuking chemistry because chemistry also makes you make a bad decision. Like, it's such a double-edged sword, you know? Like, I need to have chemistry with my man. I want to be able to like jump all over my man. But somehow the Lord needs to fix it where I don't want to do it first. Because I feel like every time I meet a woman that's been married for 23 years or 40 years or 30 years, the first thing this woman says is, well, you know, when I first met my husband, he wasn't my type. Like, I feel like the Lord does that purposely, okay? Because when a man is not a woman's type, you act like yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you my type, I might give in. You know, I might be like easier to catch. And you know, men are like, you know, they're hunters by nature. So they need something to hunt. They need something to like please. It's just in their nature. So I feel like the Lord orchestrates it like that so that you're not like impressed. You're not like, oh, whatever you like, you know, huh? And that makes the man, that intrigues the man, because he know he can't be somewhere just acting any kind of way because you really don't like him like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I don't know. I just met so many couples like that. So, you know, but if you definitely have a chemistry with everybody you like, that's why you're not with nobody, because as soon as they give it up, you don't like them no more. Okay. And that's, you in the same boat. You know, let me tell y'all something. I used to be like envious of like a lot of like couples or whatever, but just from dating online, honey, let me tell you something. I met a lot of men online. Okay. People is out here with some terrible men. You know the word terrible? No, it's not terrible. They got some terrible men. Okay. TURRBLEE. Terrible. Okay. People are out here and they are hugged up on the phone 5 hours all day long, calling you 5 times a day, telling you they love you right from the comfort of another woman's own home. Honey, Lord, send my man. But Lord, I'm going to wait. But Lord, hurry up. But like, I'm patient, Lord, because I want the right one. But like, Lord, hurry up, Lord, because I know you are the God of miracles. And I need a miracle. I need a $1 million miracle, first of all. Okay. So I could just like do what I want to do. I've been reading this book called The Artist's Way. And it's about unblocking yourself as an artist, okay? And it makes you take yourself on an artist date. I see y'all in the comments. First of all, I am just so happy y'all are here. I am just so like excited that y'all have come to the show. Y'all. I'm back to y'all. So anyway, it makes you take yourself on an artist date. And when you have to take yourself out, it's not the same as like you being in a house by yourself all day. You literally are dressing up with the intention of going out by yourself, taking yourself on a date. And this week was really like, every week now when I go out by myself, I have like a huge epiphany because that's the whole purpose of the artist date. You have these huge epiphanies from spending time with yourself because really you and the Lord. So I'm out by myself. And I'm tempted to go to this like other place, Let me see. I got a private chat. Okay. Good. No worries. Stacey, I see you back there. I'm tempted to go to this like other place, because I'm thinking about, like as an artist, I'm constantly thinking about the next invoice. When will the next invoice be paid? When will the next check be in? Okay. But now nothing is due. Okay. Everything has been paid. All right. Except one thing I got to pay today, which is just like a $23 bill for my internet. I mean, not my internet, but my, website. So, but it's not like overdue. It's just like due. Okay. But anyway, so I was tempted to be like, okay, well, what do I want to do? Because when you go into these like high class places, it's a $70 artist date. And then as I was walking to the place, I saw this like pizza place. And then immediately the Holy Spirit come up on me and says, because the artist in you is a child. And that's what the book is about. The artist is bringing forth your artist child. And it's nurturing the child inside so that you can grow as an artist, because it says we're all artists. So, and that means like for me, I'm a singer, I'm a comedian, I want to get better than that. Some people are fashion designers, some people are shoemakers, some people are writers, all this, but it's meant to like birth your artist. Okay. But the artist is a child in you that hasn't been nurtured. So that's what it's trying to do, is trying to bring that out. So I was just thinking of when I was going to this restaurant, it was like the classy place was like this rooftop lounge where you could see the sunset. And then this other little cheap place was like the pizza shop that was down at the bottom. And as I was looking at the pizza shop, the Lord was like, okay, let me see how you're going to do your daughter. Okay. Because is your daughter worth it? Is your daughter worth the most extravagant places with the best rooftop view? So I went on in there because I'm like, yes, my daughter is worth it. Yes. Yes, the artist in me is worth seeing the sunset. And I'm talking about these people had the most remarkable view of the sunset. And I am just so happy that I spent the time with myself, but also the money so that I could have the experience. And then, of course, going in there, I met this dude and we exchanged our lessons for the week. Now, this is what the Lord does every single time I have and my artist date. It's always someone there that the Lord will send. I'm talking about every week. The Lord reminds me, daughter, you cannot worry about skin. You got to worry about character, because the Lord comes in all the skin. So anyway, this Latino guy is there and he's exchanging with me. He said he just lost 50 pounds and he's having to check the way he eats and really practice some self-control, which is, because he's really, addicted to sugar. And then he's telling me that he wishes he could be an artist. And I'm telling him I'm doing this book. So it was like the Lord being like, daughter, more self-control, get the fruit. And it was like to him, son, get this book so you can unblock yourself as an artist. So anyway, guys, I like to share, okay, everything I'm going through, but I want to get the show started because I have 1,000 things I can share. I'm telling you, I'm going to do this. I try to do the show with people, and I just want to thank y'all. First of all, I want to thank y'all so much. Do you know I'm almost monetized? I have been doing this show since last September in effort to get monetized, and I am almost monetized. I am only a few hours away from being monetized. So thank you guys so much for subscribing. Thank you for watching the clips. Thank you for watching the videos. Without further ado, guys, we got a lot to get to. I got to get to my guests, okay? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. My guest tonight, first of all, thank you so much for joining me. Kay is in the building. Hey, Kay, I love that. I love that you join me every week. Jamal Jackson in the building. You say, I'm glad to be 20 years out of that dating number. You all's dating stories scare me. Jamal, you better thank your lucky stars and go order your wife some flowers right now. Okay, because it's hard out here for a shrimp. Okay. um, Sean LeRae Brinkley says she loves that book, The Artist's Way. Kay says yes, amen, confirmation. Samuel Griffin is in the building. Sam, thank you so much, y'all, for joining me. Anybody else that's in the building, in the comments, put it in the comments. I'll shout you out, and we'll get ready to get started. My guest tonight, first of all, I've got two regulars. Okay, now y'all know how I love to bring my friends. I love to bring people that I talk to all the time. I don't need to get to know people. I already know the stars. Guys, if you're in the comments, more than likely you're going to be on the show one day too, because that's what it is. I like talking to the people that I've already got the chemistry with. And tonight is no different. My Antee Gwen, guys, anytime my Antee Gwen is off, I want her on the show. She is the whole reason I began the show. She kept nagging me to do it. And I'm so glad she did. Then, of course, we've got our regular comedian panelist, Stacy from DC, and new to the show, but not new to my friendship, Brooklyn's own fashion designer, brand creator of the NASA brand. Okay. Moe is in the building. Moselle Underwood is in the building. Let me bring up my guest, guys, and get everyone in here. And everyone in here. Hey, y'all. Rory, thank you so much for dropping in. Thank you so much, Rory. How is everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Doing great.
Yes. How's everyone's day? Everyone looks fantastic out here. Okay. I just want you to know y'all lighting looks good. Stacy, you let me know you've been on the show because you're perfectly lit. You've got the proper headroom. Mo's got the big smile. Mo did not have a smile before we went on, but when the camera came on, this fashion designer / actor, he knows how to put on the Hollywood smile. Okay. And of course, Antee Gwen, let me tell y'all something. Y'all better look back through the old episodes to see how good Antee Gwen lighting has improved. Okay. Antee Gwen is a regular on the show. GK is in the comments. Sam Griffin is in the comments. I see y'all. Sam Griffin says, hi, Stacy. Hi, Gwen. Hi. And Sam is going to get to know you too, Mo. So just give it a second because Mo will be a regular on the show too. Mo, we was going to do Mo in weeks in the future because he wanted to just get set up, properly. And then, honey, Mo, a miracle on demand happened. He got set up immediately. It was like, I'm coming tonight. And I'm like, of course. So, and I love it because the thing is, I love to have the male female energy. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to kick it off. Now I'm introducing a new segment because we get so many responses each week. Okay. And each week y'all come with a different topic. And I call this letter to the editor. And last week, before we got off a line, somebody mentioned the young Dolph situation. And I just want to say RIP to, not young Dolph, young Scooter, all these youngs that have died, all these young Black men that have died. It has just been a thorn in my side when I see all these Black men dying. You know what I'm saying? This is a hurtful thing to me and to our community. And so I just want to say, first of all, prayers up to young Scooter's family. His assailant has been found, was locked up, got off of, got bail. And I just want to play this video for you that I found on young Scooter's assailant. And then we're going to talk about it. Just give it 1 second because StreamYard, stop acting up.
So fam, this is the chick that set up that rapper, Young Scooter. She had his house swatted. Like she literally lied on him, and had the SWAT team rush his house, he ended up getting unalived. Now, that whole situation is super messed up, but that's not really what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about this witch right here in the flesh herself. Counsel, look at this chick. She's only 31 years old. And look at the differences in the pictures. The mugshot and the picture with the makeup. Ladies, this is what I've been telling you guys about for years. You see all this dress up and clown makeup costume? It not only destroys your natural beauty, it also is false advertisement. None of you look like what you look like with that makeup, and it's not fair, and I'm serious about this. When everyone's running around telling me that these women's is 8, 9s, and 10s and all this, I literally only see 2s and 3s, and this is why. You have to see through all the fakeness in these times. Get that out of your mind, because this is the glamour that these goofies are using to trick your mind and keep you in hypnotism. A lot of these Jezebels are using these tricks that they were taught by the fallen angels to keep you blind to who they really are.
Okay, now this brother said a mouthful. And I just want to say that I'm just looking up the report on young Scooter, so just so we can have it correct. It says Mr. Bailey, his real name was Kenneth Bailey, sustained a penetrating injury of his right thigh that created marked blood loss. So this injury was not a gunshot wound, but she did do a fake 911 call that people are perceiving that caused this whole event. Like, I guess he must have ran, and when he suffered the leg injury, then this caused this brother to lose so much blood, and then this loss, and so blood loss, and that caused his death. And the thing about it too is that's my first question for you guys, because it is scary to see a person that looks like this, looks like this, but then looks like, you see the picture on the right where she looks like, this beautiful woman. And then when she gets locked up, it does look like, like he had fallen for some kind of witch. Now, this is allegedly, okay, I can't say what people believe in and what people's intentions were, but that's what I want to ask y'all. Is this makeup or is it witchcraft? Because if this man would have just sustained a leg injury, I would be like, it's makeup, okay? But then when you're doing a prank that's causing a death, and I just feel like, because people are falling from the visual, and I feel like, is it makeup or is it witchcraft? Okay, what say you? Put it in the comments. What y'all think? And feel free to elaborate on your answers. It's not a yes or no thing. Think it out loud. Stacey, go ahead. What say you?
Well, I think that you can enhance how you look. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to a level of deception, that's a whole nother thing. And you have to have spiritual discernment. You have to have spiritual discernment. You have to look at someone and have some type of spiritual awareness of who these people are. One of the things I always tell my children as I raise them was, when someone new comes in your life, ask the Father, why? Who is this person? Why is this person in my life? And just be aware. Believe what you see. Because some people come in your life to bless you, and some people come in your life to do what this
to take you out. Gwen, what say you? And y'all put it in the comments. You think it's makeup? Is it innocent? This was a mistake, or is it like straight witchcraft? This guy is gone.
Right. I don't know the whole story. It's like, I don't know what's the reason she was there, but I agree with Stacey about being able to discern, and also this person,
let me read you what it says. It says, Mr. Bailey sustained a penetrating injury of his right thigh that created marked blood loss This injury was not a gunshot wound. Mr. Bailey injured himself on organic wooden fencing material and or woody debris after vaulting at least one fence. In a statement on the police department's website, officials wrote the agency was aware of inaccurate comments in social media posts. While we understand that it's saddening to people, please understand that the Atlanta officers did not discharge like firearms. Let me see what else is saying about this girl.
But what I'm saying is, what does she have to do with his injury? You said he got hurt. I mean,
okay, because she called. Let me see. She put out a fake 911 call.
But why? I mean, if he was hurt, why was it fake? I don't understand. I don't understand that.
Let me. I'm gonna look it all the way up, and I'm glad you asking the question. I'm glad you asking
because it make it look like she was involved in his death. You know.
Yeah.
But if he got hurt on a fence or something, you know, that's something different. And I agree with Stacey also about enhancing your beauty.
It says, let me just read this to you. It says, breaking update. Police say a woman has been arrested for allegedly making a false 911 call in connection with the death of Atlanta-based rapper Young Scooter. Let me click on this. This is from Atlanta News First. It said, a woman has been arrested making false. Police say Demetria Spence, 31, made a 911 call linked to the death. What happened at home on William Nye Drive Southeast on March 28th? She's been charged with transmitting a false public alarm. Spence waived her first appearance at the Fulton County Jail. Audio from the 911 call claims that shots were fired at the address. So she said shots were fired at the address, and there may have been a domestic dispute that took place. So Spence allegedly told operators that about 7 men live in the home and assumed that illegal activities such as drug and sex trafficking may have been going on. During the call, she said a woman ran out of the house without any clothes on before one of the men in the house attacked her and dragged her back in the house. A child was also in the home at the time of the incident. When asked about the woman's condition, Spence allegedly said the woman was being beaten and bloody and she could not tell if the woman was unconscious or not. Oh, okay, so she was a witch. She, you know, this is witch activity because you blatantly lied, you know, about.
But why?
So, it says officers did not find a woman when they arrived at the scene. Police also said there was no evidence of a shooting. However, a man opened the front door and immediately closed it once he saw the officers. Police said 2 men left the home as units surrounded it. One later returned, but the second kept running. The man was found by the police from a leg wound. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. So that was him. This guy ran from the home.
To me, it wasn't really fake. They did have an incident there, but it just wasn't what she said it was. Right?
I know, but if you yeasting it up, then you call it, because the thing about it too is black men and police, like, they don't have a good relationship, so they're gonna run when the police. If you call the police and tell,
it sounds like if she called.
Go ahead.
If she called, she wanted somebody to get there. I don't know.
She wanted somebody to get there, but it sounds like that. You know, you said there was a child in the home. They said they didn't find no woman there. They definitely didn't find a child there because they would have reported that. But they, you know, 2 men left. Mo, what say you? Mo, you falling asleep.
This thing is giving me a headache. Like, what?
It's too much to the story.
Yeah, Gwen. I'm like, okay, you could have just said you was abused, you was touched, you making up all that, like, and then you're running. Why are you running if you ain't doing anything?
Right. I don't know.
You running because you're afraid of the police, because a person, you know, you might. And the thing about, see, to me, you might have done something that was minor, but you definitely didn't have a woman that was beat and bloodied in there because the police said they didn't find anyone. But when you call the police, if you got warrants and if you got this, a person could have ran out of the house being like, okay, I got a warrant. I ain't trying to get locked up. I got a career, you know, and if your girlfriend, she knows that because you've been pillow talking with her. So it's the, you know, you have an argument. She knows all your business. She calls the police. She makes up a story because she's upset with you. And then now, you see what I'm saying? You know, you done ran out the house and suffered a leg injury. Obviously, you jumped the fence because that's how you get a wooden, you know, a gash on your leg. all from a fake call. And that's what, let's go to the comments. I don't know what happened to Stacy. The question is, when it comes to young Scooter, is this makeup or is this witchcraft? Because she definitely called to do a false report. That's what the police are reporting. There was a false report causing this man to run out. He suffered a leg injury, and the blood loss caused this man to die. They didn't shoot him. They didn't do any of that. Let's go and see what the comments said. Cousin, I see you in the building. Felicia, I see you in the building. Thank you so much. You said, hold on, let me go back. You said, as a male, you said, hey, Felicia, I see you. Samuel says witchcraft. Kay says, I think it's both. We don't know what she was telling him and doing to cousin. I see you in there, doing to him, such as enticing him, deceiving him. Where did it go wrong? It went wrong when you called the police. To me, you called the police. You told them that it's drugs and it's sex trafficking. It probably was drugs. I mean, this is a young rapper, it probably was drugs in the building, but it probably wasn't sex trafficking because they just said it didn't find anyone. Felicia said it's makeup in a wig. Witchcraft denotes the practice of magic, especially for evil purposes, the use of spells. Yeah, I mean, I feel that, but I do feel like, you lied, which means that makeup in a wig with a liar, because the devil is a liar. So, that is to me like like you might be practicing witchcraft and not even know it, because even us as Christians, when we speak falsely against ourselves, it's a form of witchcraft, but I'm not. Aaron says stabbed in the heart and Carmelo's to blame. He gives Black a bad name. Aaron, Aaron, I need you to elaborate. You said she was on the phone that could only dial 911. The incident is the one she created. Ooh. He had a warrant. See, that's what I was feeling like. I was feeling like he had a warrant. Stacy is back. Hey, Stacy. I don't know what happened. I just finished reading the comments on that, but how you doing? You back?
I'm
do
back.
Me a favor, do your phone.
Okay, turn the other way.
Yeah, I'm to the side, and then turn it back. Yeah, so
thank you. My laptop just died. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Your laptop got to be plugged in. See, your laptop knows when it's BS. Your laptop knows when the BS is happening. Okay. Speaking of death, okay, I just want y'all to sound off on this real fast, okay? Because Gwen brought this up to me today, and I just got to put it out there. Dennis Rodman is alive and kicking, okay? Who's tired of the fake RIPs? Lord. Gwen.
No, I'm telling you, I seen a news flash that says Dennis Rodman from, I forgot what his birthday was, birth to death to 2025. I was like, what? And I was telling her, she said, oh, that's not true. And then we looked it up and it wasn't true. I'm tired of the fake RIP.
I'm tired of the fake news. I'm tired of the fake RIPs. I'm tired of the fake police report. I'm so tired of it. Mo, I see you shaking your head. Sound off on what you tired of, Mo.
I'm tired of that too. And then the other day, it said, happy heavenly birthday to Miss Laura, the comedian. I said, what?
Yes. Oh my
goodness. Why want people be dead? That's crazy.
It's a whole YouTube page that will pop up sometimes, and it'll be like RIP to all these celebrities. Because I remember on Lunel's page, she had to put out a apology to some celebrity. I think it was some celebrity. I forget who it was. I think it was somebody on the Fresh Prince, like Jeffrey or somebody that was still alive. And but on YouTube, and then she came back and she posted clear as day on YouTube, because who is even putting out pages like that on YouTube, and YouTube just lets it be up there. They don't take it down.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah. So
that was busy.
Is that to get numbers, likes, or what? What is that?
I think they get
What are they trying to get?
hits. They get hits because
hits.
you
Boy,
immediately click on it.
somebody's dead.
I don't know about you.
Right.
As soon as I see a RIP, I need to click and see the whole story. And I'm
clickbait.
trying not to even do that because I don't want to train my algorithms to keep on bringing up a whole bunch of RIPs because I feel like like RIPs is the same as happy birthday out here. You say RIP and honey, that thing starts spreading like wildfire on your timeline. You know what I'm saying? Just like if I say happy birthday. So guys, I just need to say this real fast. Okay. If you are just tuning in, you are watching the Dell Show 2.0. Do me a favor, y'all. Do me a favor, y'all, and hit that subscribe button right now. I cannot thank y'all enough for watching each and every week. I can't thank you enough for subscribing, y'all. And also I need to thank my guests for joining me today. Antee Gwen is in the building, yawning. Moe is in the building, looking real fuzzy. Okay, Moe need to get closer to the light. Stacy is in the building. Her phone has rescued her yet another night, and look like she took a nap earlier so she can look revived for the night because her hair is laid like mashed potatoes. Okay. What? Speaking of hair laid, and since we was talking about makeup, here's the next question I got for y'all. Because I think we need to discuss this since this guy was talking about the makeup that women are wearing, guys. Is women in makeup? Is it enhancements or is it false advertisement? I feel like this girl is on the right, like the girl on the right. That's how I feel like makeup should do. Like you look like that and it's just enhancing you, but you already look like this without any makeup on. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the person on the left, you know what I'm saying? It's her man gonna be downright scared when she get on, get home and get a makeup wipe going. And then, you see the Spanx going on. You got the flat stomach, but then it's really not like that. But, she herself is suffering because I know if your stomach that flat in a Spanx, I know you got acid reflux going on. You know what I'm saying? Girl, you try to eat with a Spanx on, girl, you will be burping up the acid right here in your throat and will be hoarse by the end of the night, but your stomach be looking real flat. Stop playing. Okay. So that's what I need to ask y'all. And Mo, I already saw you answer. Women in makeup is it enhancements or is it false advertisement? Mo, we need you. It's enhancements? Yeah. Okay. You like well, Mo is the BBW promotion king. Okay. So he's like, listen, I like what's up under there. I like when it pop out like a Pillsbury dope.
We gotta be real about it. Like a lot of it is enhancement.
Okay.
Like some look the same with the makeup. Look like certain people don't really need the makeup.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Honestly, it's enhancements.
It's enhancement. Stacy, what say you? Is it enhancement or is it false advertising? Because I just be feeling like, some is enhancement, but you see some pictures and you be like, that's her. You know what I'm saying? What say you, Stacy?
Well, I think if it becomes an obsession and it's just something you just have to do, you just can't step out at all without all of this. I think that's when it becomes more than just an enhancement.
Yes.
But when my mother used to fuss at me. She said, put some lipstick on, brush your hair, do something before you walk out the door. Act like you're ready to meet the public, So I think that's kind of what it is. It's making yourself look, your appearance to look a little nice, a little fresher. That's okay. I think that's perfectly fine.
Well, I feel like when you have a little bit of enhancement, I feel like that's what gets your self-esteem up. Your toes done, your nails done, you got a little lipstick on. But I feel like, when you taking it like this, where it's just like, looks like you just walk around with a human filter, it's great. But it's just like, can you even look at yourself regular and feel just as beautiful, without this? And I see y'all in the comments. First of all, Eliza Eugene is in the comments. Yay, Liza. Liza says, hi, Gwen. Thank you so much for joining in.
Hi.
You said, no, okay. Liza said, hi, Gwen. You said some of those pictures are playing witchcraft. Katrina Bush said hello.
Hey, Katrina.
Katrina, she said hello. It's both. Depends on what's your purpose. Jamal says that's straight trickery sometimes. Gwen, what say you? Is it enhancements or is it false advertisement?
I think it's enhancement until you go full. I mean, it's like that heavy makeup. You know, you just, I don't know. It's enhancement to a certain extent, and then sometimes you can go overboard. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, you know,
now, what is overboard?
sometimes you can
Let me ask you this: is this overboard?
Overboard
right here?
is
the
cake.
lady.
I mean,
Okay, but is that overboard in the middle? Okay.
the one in the middle, the one in the middle is really overboard.
Okay, that one is overboard. Let me see if
she's really overboard.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, moving on because we got plenty of things to talk about. And if you are just tuned in, guys, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. We do this each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, where I bring you 2 exciting panelists. This week, 3, might be 3, might do it myself, but I try to bring the panelists because it makes it so much fun. And also, too, I just want to thank you so much to my audience who comes each and every week to share in the joy. If you looking at this live right now, do me a favor and share this live with 2 friends because we want to keep building the audience, y'all. It's just so fun. And I just can't thank you guys enough. My cousin is in the building. Cousin says, it's getting dressed per se. Just like you dress your body to look better, you also dress your face. You're not going outside naked. So some women need to dress up their faces. Jamal says, girl to the right is enhancement. The others are transformation. Okay, let me put the picture back up there so y'all can see. He said, girl to the right is enhancement. The others are transformation. And transformation is good. I don't know what's going on in people's life. I've been trying to, for myself, keep it natural, like, wear my own natural hair, because sometimes you can get away from wearing your own natural stuff so long that when you do start to wear your natural hair, you feel ugly in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Now, the weaves are only enhancing the cute face that you already have. But because you've been looking at yourself with 18 inches for so long, you never see yourself without eyelashes. So you could just be like, oh, I need to put some on my eye. You know what I'm saying? When we need to be feeling cute no matter what we look like. And I feel like that's where it becomes, that's where it's not good for the soul at, is when you're so used to the enhancements that you can't do anything. And then, of course, when something is telling you got to enhance,
oh my goodness,
honey, that thing is never going to shut up, because that's how women go from like regular cute girls. You see Lil' Kim, you go from regular cute girls, you fly to now all of a sudden you looking like Michael Jackson out here. You know what I'm saying? So, you say is Edwanda White. Edwanda, you gotta come on the show. You say if makeup can make a whole dude look like a woman, then it's dangerous. You better stop telling the truth, Edwanda. You know what? I don't. We're gonna have to save that discussion for another show, because I just was watching Survival of the Thickest, and it's like a trans story on there. And I just was so torn, like, and conflicted. Like, I love this show. I absolutely love the show. But I just be wondering, like, as a kingdom person, is this storyline good for the kingdom? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just so torn. Like, these are God's kids too, but I just be wondering, I'm always torn, and maybe y'all could just answer it real fast. Like, when you see a whole bunch of like trans storylines in the show, is it part of the kingdom or is it not? Is it advancing? What do you think about it, Mo? What do you think about it? Because we got to keep on talking to you before you fall out. You said what?
Survival of the Thickness. That's her name.
Survival of the Thickest. It's Michelle Buteau's show on Netflix. survival of the thickest. She's talking about the thick girls. She's a fashion designer, and she's making, she has a pop-up boutique where she's making wedding dresses for, the thick girls, which I appreciate. But then she also says, the trans women. And then, of course, the story, follows a piece of the story. It follows the trans, person in the story. And that's the part that I, when I see it, I'm just like, like, that's the only part that I'm just like, what am I watching? But certainly trans people have the stories out there. But then I don't know. I don't know if it's the Black woman in me that looks at the trans woman and just be like, okay, but you're not a woman. You know what I mean? Or is it? I don't know, because I certainly appreciate her being able to look at all God's children, like, look at everybody as if they're, as God's children, as we should, because God even looks at them as their children. Like God says is, he hates the sin but loves the sinner. But I guess y'all would have to see the show. Stacey, what say you?
Yeah, because I gotta say this. So we're all his creation, but we're not all his children. Just a point of clarification. The Bible says it defines a child of God versus a creation. So, and I believe live and let live. And I used to say, well, why do we have to have this on TV? Because really it's the reality. It's where we are. Yeah. So you always have the option of turning away or looking away, or if you're offended by it.
Yeah.
But at this point, I realize that it's part of the tapestry of the world that we're in.
Yeah.
And so in that regard, I have a level of acceptance because, well, first of all, who am I to judge? I can measure what you're doing against what I believe, but I can't look into your heart.
Yes.
So there's certain, I have to be very cautious about judging people and just loving them where they are, because it's the love that gets them to the place where they need to be.
No, me too. And that's where that's also what I always like. Whenever I think about that, the Lord always reminds me of, are you perfect? Like, like he who is without sin cast the first stone, but then, of course I do look at it on TV, and I look at shows that, honor God, honor the, the heterosexual relationship. But again, it's, they are writing a story that wants to engulf, envelope real elements. Moe, I see real elements that are happening in the world right now. Moe, I see your face scrunched up. What's happening?
I hear what Stacey said, but like Stacey said, you could ignore it. You could just change the channel, because what it is with that situation, even with the gay thing, they make it seem like it's accepted, but it's really not. We learned, like I told someone a few months ago, I'm more mature about it now than I was when I was younger. But it's not my thing. I was like, oh, okay. And I just move on. I don't make a big fuss or say crazy things like I used to. Now I just say, oh, okay. And I just move,
Gwen, what about you? Weigh in on this.
I would have been like, okay. I think I'm going to watch
I'm with the heart. I try, you just like, they have their own thing going on.
Yes.
But I'm going to go with the heart,
When every time I hear the word heart, it softens me immediately. Yes. And that's really what I love about. No, go ahead. We had a little delay for a second.
Yeah. No, I was saying I address who that person is inside.
Yeah.
Every
time I hear you say heart, it softens me immediately, because when I tell you, it's the whole reason why the Lord be like, okay, I want you to look at character and not at the outside, because I know so many good people that don't look like me. They don't have the same lifestyle. They don't have the same actions, but their heart is so good. And you just be like,
have to look at that.
You know, and I feel like the Lord is, you know, the Lord say, I will use who I want to bless you, you know.
Outside is cosmetics, you know.
Yes.
You know.
I'm glad we could discuss that. You know, we could discuss that because that's something that I was thinking about over the weekend. If you are just listening to this, looking at this, if you're looking at this on playback, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. We do this each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Every Tuesday, I bring on new guests to discuss various topics because guess what? The Dell Show is all about what the audience gives me the news. Okay, y'all run the news topics to me. I don't have to think of nothing. Okay, and I'm just so glad that I didn't have to think of nothing because somebody brought me this right here. Now, of course, you know Candace Owens, honey. Y'all know who Candace Owens is. Oh, let me get to the comments. Okay, y'all, let me get to the comment. First of all, Wanda said, my cousin said, the problem is we let other people's perception control the way we feel about ourselves. Never dress up for a man, dress up for yourself. Cousin, that is just so good. You know, when your facial ID does not recognize you, then you know that you did way too much with your makeup. You gotta wipe some off to be like, okay, hold on, y'all, hold on. Wait a minute, hold on.
That may be the reason to do it, though.
Makeup white.
Right, that may be a reason to do it. To fake the death. Take those machines out.
Hold on. Now, my cousin said the problem is the trans community wants to infiltrate our lane instead of creating their own lane. Women are the blueprint. It doesn't matter what you do. You can never be us. I don't agree with that lifestyle, but I look past to love the person. Godly love changes people. That's cousin. Exactly. First of all, Jamal said Stacy is preaching good on tonight. Let's pass the collection plate, shut the doors. Wayne Payne is in the building. Kay said that's so true. If you dress up for yourself, you'll be more confident. You are so right. You know, but back to my cousin's comment, the problem is the trans community wants to infiltrate our lane instead of creating their own. Women are the blueprint. It doesn't matter what you do. You can never be us. I don't agree with that lifestyle, but I look past the person. Godly love changes people. You know, the thing about it too is, you know, when I think about the trans lane, you know, I was talking to somebody, you know, because sometimes the trans people use the oppression. Like I remember one time they put me out of school because they was like, oh, a black woman said this, you know, you of all people needs to understand oppression. But I'm like, we did not choose this kind of oppression. Like we don't wake up every day and be like, okay, hand me my black skin. I feel like getting attacked today. You know what I'm saying? But you know, this is what I said in my journal one time. If a person gotta wait till they see you from the front to not like you, you chose that oppression. You see what I'm saying? Like if they like you from the back, like see, they could see me from the back and be like, I don't like her, you know, because they see in this skin. But if they gotta wait to see your face and then be like, what? Who is that? Then to me, it's like you're choosing it. But then, you know, I was talking with my mentor today, and my mentor was like, you know, some people are not choosing it. You know, they're born that way. And to me, you know, I do feel like I see some kids, you know, like I remember when I used to live with my grandma growing up, it was like a little 4-year-old, like, you know, dentist that this was a clearly gay child, you know what I'm saying? And there was nobody in his house to like, so I feel like it's that 0.0001% that is like that, you know what I'm saying? That's born like that. But I feel like the other people are feeding their flesh, you know, just me, you know, I just feel like you're feeding your flesh with it. And you've been feeding it so long that you feel like it's you feel like you were in that way. But actually, if you stop feeding the flesh, it will actually, because, you know, you look at trans people all the time on YouTube who have denounced it and gone back and gone, you know, and been like, I was living like this. I was living like a woman. Now I accepted Christ and I'm living, you know what I'm saying, like a man again. So, you know, those people, it wasn't born that way. They got convicted and they started living again, you know, as the gender that they were born as. So I just wanted to But back to you, Stacey. Stacey is preaching good tonight. Let's pass the collection plate and shut the doors, okay? Speaking of living in the kingdom, now, guys, Candace Owens, okay? Let's get to her. I saw this video, okay? And let me play it for you. And this is the next discussion.
Totally disagree with him on it. It's hard to reconcile it in many ways. It's hard to reconcile because I see so much hypocrisy in terms of when we say America first, for whatever reason, we have this magic carve out. And you cannot pretend that that's not because AIPAC spends $100 million in our election. And this gets back to what we were talking about, whether it's Big Pharma, whether it's Israel, everyone's for sale in DC. And so I have been very disappointed with Trump on his perspectives about Gaza. I have been disappointed, by the way, he's the last person I'm disappointed with, because I've been disappointed, as we saw all last year, with the conservatives, people that say they're Christians, who are condoning this on the basis of what? Like, you're saying, oh, well, they're Muslims, so who cares? And that gets into our programming, which I've spoken about in my podcast, of this 9/11 programming, where we just don't see Muslims as like human life. And to me, to speak about Gaza and talking about casinos and hotels, and these people just lost their entire families. Yeah. It's so far removed from humanity, and I think it's wrong. And I'm tired of America being used as Israel's piggyback. You know, for whatever reason, everyone can critique every other country for taking money from us, and then there's just everyone's blind when it comes to Israel. And obviously, I paid a very heavy price for saying that last year, but I don't care, because I am truly someone whose values have never been up for sale. Like, I don't care.
Well. Values have never been up for sale. If it ain't Candace support Trump Owens, go on the campaign trail and get him elected, only to say her values have never been up for sale, and she is now removing her support. So this is what I want to say, guys, since we are all Christian people on here, and we just talked about skin and not skin but character. So I need to ask this, guys. Candace rolls back her Trump support. Should the Black community let her back in? Okay. Put it in the comments. Candace Owens rolls back her Trump support. Should the Black community let her back in? Okay. Gwen, what?
No.
Gwen.
No. That's my sentiment. No.
Put it in the comments, y'all. Here's the question again. Candace Owens rolls back her support for Trump. I feel like I need to be like, Candace Owens rolls back her support for Trump. I looked it up. Look, I actually looked it up. And it says, girl, AI has so much to say about Candace. I said, give me list 5 key things Candace Owens said to support Trump and against Kamala that upset the Black community during his campaign that we can discuss on the show. AI said, absolutely. Here are 5 key things Candace Owens said that supported Trump and bashed Kamala Harris. One was slavery was a choice. She defended Kanye's ridiculous comments, saying that Black people have a victim mentality, okay? Kamala Harris, not really Black. That's what she said. She questioned her Blackness, okay? Then, even though she got a white man too, okay, she got kids with George Floyd. Smear campaign. She publicly dismissed George Floyd as a martyr and highlighted his criminal activity to distract from police brutality. Okay, Trump is saying Trump is the best president for Black Americans. Candace repeatedly claimed that Trump did more for Black people than any president since Lincoln, ignoring policies that disproportionately harm Black communities. 5, mock Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday. She criticized Biden for making Juneteenth a holiday, calling it lame and unnecessary, further alienating Black Americans who see it as sacred. And now all of a sudden, when Trump says something about Gaza, but not her own people, she just can't get with it. So the question is, guys, come on now. We talking about the kingdom, guys. We talking about forgiving in the kingdom, guys. Candace rolls back. Hold on. Candace rolls back her support. Shut the black community layer back in. First of all, I see y'all in the comments. Wait a minute. Let the trans in, but don't let Candace Owens in. Okay.
Nah. Yeah.
First of all, I find it so funny that Gwen froze on the thumbs down. Okay. Stacy, what say you?
Well, I would say this. I want her to take Jesus off the cross. That's what I want her to do. Because when she has her new studio set up, I don't know if you guys noticed, but she has a statue of Jesus in the background on the cross. Well, he came off the cross over 2,000 years ago, Candace. So please take him off the cross. And then recently she put up another statue to somebody. So sometimes I get mad when I agree with her because she's not always wrong. Yeah. Not always wrong. But somebody said a broken clock is right at least once or twice a day. So how that saying goes. So, but I gotta give her kudos because she ain't shut up. She's going strong. So hey.
Yeah.
I mean, off the cross.
How long?
The thing about the thing about Candace saying her she's never been up for sale is that's where hold on, let me see what the comments say, guys. Okay, because hopefully we can get Candace on the show to explain herself. What does she mean by that? First of all, I gotta scroll back to so many comments. And you start feeding your flesh. First of all, they're agreeing with you left and right, Stacy. Okay. Kay said yes, Stacy. And once you start feeding your flesh, it's hard to stop. So anyway, so that's what the trans. Is that Candace talking against her man Trump? I'm confused. Okay. She's disappointed in Trump. Well, what y'all cooking for dinner? Okay. The question, look, AI told me to ask this question. Candace is rolling back her support for Trump. Should we let her come back to the cookout? That's what AI told me to ask. You said Trump stopped paying her. That's what it is. Okay, that's exactly what it is. Okay, exactly, Jamal. No one gets another offer to talk about us kinfolk. She'll do it again when she gets another offer. Yeah. Candace is still behind the fence, and shall never return to. Omarosa used to do the same. Katrina said, "No, we not letting her in." Kay said, "I remember that, Jamal. I remember that." Okay, Omarosa used to do the same. She said her too. Candace's white husband gave her all these scripts. Okay. Kay said, "LOL, sold for Jews only." Okay. Jamal said Candace ain't coming back even if she learned the latest line dance. She has gone too far. Guys, let me just say this about the line. Let me read the rest of the comments, okay? And then I'm gonna say about get on you about the line dancing, okay? Candace just needs to log off and be quiet, because ma'am, you're doing too much. No backseat. She can stay over there with Stacey Dash. It's one of them every few years. It's the Stacey, it's the Candace. It's one of them every few years, okay? She said she never said that she doesn't support Trump. She just said that she was disappointed with the way he's handling the Gaza situation. So no, she can't come to the cookout, okay? Y'all, first of all, if y'all looking at this on playback, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. Guys, we do this each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, where I invite 2 to 3 amazing guests tonight. Comedian Stacey Stacy from DC, fashion designer, Son founder, Brooklyn's own Moselle Underwood, known as Hawksome Moe in the building, and my Antee Gwen, also fashion designer, shoe designer, Italian leather shoe designer in the building. Hit that subscribe button right now. Okay, guys, here's my last question. First of all, I guess I gotta say this too in the middle of it. Guys, I just want to thank you so much to my audience, y'all. I just can't thank y'all enough for joining me each and every week. It means so much that y'all come and share this time with me. So, and if you're looking at this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know when we go live. Okay, the last thing I have is, and I found this video, like I said, y'all give me the news. Okay, so I just bring it on so we can discuss it, but y'all give it to me. Let's look at what this lady had to say.
Pray, okay? While the doctors is gonna be praying on your ass and praying on your children and praying on your community, you keep on praying while they are PREYing on you. They have no tools, no weapons, but they talking about no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. They all have worked. Every weapon they formed against you has to prosper.
Guys.
Well, that is my new prayer. Lord, I pray I'm not somebody's prey.
Okay.
No playing the word P-R-A-Y, P-R-A-Y.
Let me first of all, shout out to this sister for knowing how the exact song goes, even though she says she's not with us. Okay, because I don't even know the riff to that song. She talking about no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Like, she been listening to that song over and over to know the riffs. Okay, to me,
but she's not. But she's against that.
Okay, because she's and this is the question, and I'm gonna get back to it so y'all we can discuss it, because here's her gripe, and y'all listen. Prayer warriors versus action warriors. She said Black people are prayer warriors because we are afraid of being action warriors. And my question to you, 3 on the panel and in the comments, and if you're looking at this on playback, are we afraid to take action?
No.
You know, she listed so many other things, but the video just played that. You know, they've been praying on us at the doctors, praying on us, bad school system, bad politicians, you know. And at the end of her video, she says this. She says, don't look for a Boaz, look for a Black Panther. So my question is, okay, the last question of the day, and you put it in the comments, prayer warriors versus action warriors. Are we afraid to take action? Because here's the caption. It says Black people are prayer warriors because we're afraid of being action warriors. Are we afraid to take action?
What is action?
Honey, first of all,
so
hold on.
When you pray,
let me put this up. You see this?
Listen,
you see this right here? Prayer, right here. Prayer is the action. That's what I wrote. Prayer is the action.
Is action.
You know? Yeah. Prayer
is action. Prayer is action because when you pray to God, He takes the action. Because what we do may not even work.
Yeah.
Our action. I mean, we could, do what we can do, but the thing, what is she doing?
Well, she online complaining, not taking action, like she said we not doing. Okay. The thing about it too is, and I feel like this is, and when we leave here, I'm gonna let y'all give this woman some words of encouragement. That's how we're gonna end the show, because to me, this sister has been in the church, and it's been and it's hurting from seeing the things being done to Black people. And I think that people forget that the Lord says that He planted us here among the wicked. So the Lord is not surprised that the wicked is here, and He's not surprised what the wicked does, but that's what He wants us to do, is come to Him so that He can teach us how to fight every battle. I mean, I'm in this town and I don't know, I basically know no one. You know, I have comrades that I know. I have family that is, that I don't barely see, but thank God they let me stay with them. But I'm talking about, I have had to go up against whole buildings, teams of lawyers, and I have prayed to the Lord, and the Lord has specifically guided me, like, okay, call this one person, okay, do this right here. I remember when I was taking action against this one building that had me and Gwen move in, and then tried to put us out in 3 days and charge us another fee. Honey, I prayed to the Lord, and guess what I kept saying in the hallway when I found out it was a whole company full of lawyers. I'm talking, it was like 50 lawyers. I was like, y'all got lawyers and I got the Lord. And not only did the Lord instruct me to call this, like, to get a free consultation, I got a free consultation from this lawyer who was like, he was like, get a pen and piece of paper. I'm gonna tell you how to take this building down. I'm talking about the Most High God. Okay. The man told me exactly what to do. I wrote it down. Okay. Then I went home and I took action. Okay. Because that's what prayer make you do. You go to the Lord and then the Lord give you the next step. Okay. Then you do the next step. Then guess what the Lord did? Once I was doing the next step, he had me to call every agency that these people had violated. So if it was seniors in the building, I was calling the Center for, the senior, the Chamber of Commerce, the Center for Aging, and, all those, everything, the Center Energy, the Home and Health, the hygiene. Now, I would be driving for Uber, okay, when I was calling these people, and they would be coming out to the building. The Lord would always get me a ride that came to the house at the exact time that the agency would come, so that we could win this lawsuit. Okay. And then this is lawyer free. That this is against all lawyers. And they kept saying, well, who is your lawyer? Well, who is your lawyer? They couldn't believe that this one woman had went up against them and had forced these people to tent the building. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had and then the Lord just had, once I prayed again, the Lord had me get to know the manager of the building, and she gave me all the secrets of all the things that they was doing to disenfranchise all the tenants in the building, including pictures and everything. So my only regret is I did not pray and ask the Lord how much money to ask for, because I sure could have been a millionaire from this building. But that is the action that the Lord had me to take. Now, the Lord says you have to quicken with the Spirit. So that means when he give you the instructions, you do it immediately. You don't go home and you don't think about it and think 4 or 5 days and then be like, all right. Because when the Lord give it to you, the Lord is moving on to help the person next door. So he going to whisper to you, Stacey, call this lawyer right here. This the one right here. And then you do it immediately. Okay. But, it's up to us to quicken in the Spirit. But, honey, I have watched the Lord. I mean, I just won another lawsuit, too, from this other bit. Honey, let me tell you about that prayer. That prayer is a weapon, okay? So, you may look at weapons as a whole that was formed against a people. But when you think about God's kids, all the weapons that they tried to form against me has not prospered. Okay, now I don't know what the other people that look like me been doing with their weapon. Okay, but I know no weapon formed against me has prospered. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we look at God's provisions. So, let me end it. Mo, what did you want to say? Gwen, what did you want to say? And I'm gonna get to the comments, and then we're gonna get out of here.
I was gonna say that prayer without works is dead.
Yeah.
So usually, like you said, when you pray, God give you that wisdom to move forward. And that's how his prayer, the prayer is carried out like that. That's what I believe.
Go ahead, Mo. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, it all depends on the actions that you need to take, when you're praying. Yeah. Because everything don't need action.
Everything that Mo, now you preach. This your first sermon on tonight. Because you know what? Because sometimes you do have to stand firm.
Yeah.
And let the Lord fight your battles.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you do the work and then the Lord is like, it's done. Now I'm going to take over from here. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So
and that is crazy. We're talking about this. This been happening with me for like the last week of March.
Yeah.
A lot of things been happening, and then at work I said, wow, look at God. Okay.
Yes.
I've been stressing. I didn't know how I was going to do whatever, and then he just did the rest. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me put up the question again. Sit back and wait. But once you've done the action that the Lord has instructed you through that prayer, let me put up the question again, and then I want to read the comments, and then I want y'all to go around. I'm gonna play the video again, and we're gonna go around and encourage, because a lot of people feel like this, y'all. When I was looking at the comments of this video, hold on, let me put up the question again. It says prayer versus Black people are prayer warriors because we are afraid of being action warriors. Are we afraid to take action? And here's what the comments said. Okay, let me go to the comments. Kay. Kay said, Harpo, who this woman?
Exactly.
Kay said, if she's in action water, what actions does she do in her community? Jamal said, I'll rather go to the ruler of the world than try to do it myself. Right, Jamal. Right. Like Jamal, do you understand? Every single time I try to do things myself, I pull out and I'm talking about the most fantastic, worst way to handle something in all of eternity. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I pray to the Lord be like, okay, do it this way. And it look crazy. You be like, do what? You know what I'm saying? But his way, that's why he said in his word, my ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts, because he will tell you to go about it the exact opposite way, and it will work out for your best good. Kay said prayer is the beginning of action. And Wanda said the lady was just saying that we always pray or do marches and things like that, yet that never works directly. She was just saying when we will confront these issues with an action of force, when will we, I think you meant to say when will we literally fight back? To me, we have been fighting back. Like, you think when Harriet Tubman was on the Underground Railroad, she wasn't praying the whole time, but moving. Like sometimes, I think we, like this woman, wants there to be an uprising. They want it to be a civil war, but when you are in a warfare, a spiritual warfare, you can't fight flesh on flesh with these devils. These devils don't get tired. They love to fight you flesh on flesh. That's what they're energized for. They love a demonic way. They love you to use your flesh to try to output. But when you go about it in the spiritual way, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine, like I remember when Trump was president before, okay? And me and Gwen used to be on the phone every night, and we was tired of Trump. And me and Gwen, we prayed on the phone one night, and we was like, Lord, get him out of there. And that next election, he was out of there. So this is two people praying on the phone. This is two people that's making a prayer on the phone. So I feel like we got to make sure that we're coming together to agree on the results, and then the results make you just spread the word. The word might not be you going out here with a big bullhorn. The word might be you just talking on the phone and be like, you know what, this what I ain't like right here, and then you spread that one word, and then that word catch on like wildfire. So, but I don't. To me, I don't want an uprising. I also don't want a segregation either, because you know what I did? I went to this happy hour just the other day, honey, all white people and us three blacks in here line dancing, and it was the funnest thing I did in a long time. And you be thinking white people can't dance. Honey, these people was out dancing everybody in the build. Like I'm talking about full rhythm, full line dance. Every song was a different line dance. And I just was like, no, my ancestors fought for me to come in these places right here and enjoy myself. I do not want it to turn back. You know what I'm saying? I want to come in here and bring y'all some of my money. And then I want y'all to come over here to where I'm at and bring me some of y'all money. Like I want to keep going forward. So I'm gonna play Jamal said, we have only gotten this far by fighting back. We are just strategic with it. Amen. You said, mind you, we fought through the Middle Passage, slavery, and the Civil Rights Movement. And right now we fighting through. So our fight has opened the door for everyone to come to this country. Our fight alone has opened the door. And our fight continues to open the door. Black Twitter has opened the door. Black Twitter, they got rid of jobs and created laws. Like we continue to fight, but it's in a different way. So we have an uprising, but it's sometimes it's an uprising of us being shrewd. Kay says we fight back every day when we show up to that job, school, business, etc. When we're not wanted, when we apply for loans, financial aid, and get it and use it for our community. That's how we fight back. Okay, so let me play this video again, and I just want y'all to give this lady some encouragement, because when I was looking at this video, when I was looking at the comments of this video, when I tell you so many people agree with this lady, because people are feeling they don't know what to do. They're feeling disenfranchised, So I'm gonna play this video again. And we're going to go around and we're going to give people some 30 seconds of encouragement. Let me just play it again. Let me get her on the line because she is hurt. Hold on.
Pray.
There we go.
Okay? While the doctors is gonna be praying on your ass and praying on your children and praying on your community, you keep on praying while they are PREYing on you. They have no tools, no weapons, but they talking about no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. They all have worked. Every weapon they formed against you has to prosper.
Okay, Stacy, let's start with you since we've been starting with you to preach. Let's give this lady 30 seconds of encouragement, 20
But
seconds of encouragement.
sister, if you could hear these words, I love you. Yeshua HaMashiach, our King and soon to come brother, loves you. Jehovah God loves you. So you're gonna be all right. And you all right with me.
Yes. Gwen, what about you? Let's give her some words of encouragement.
Her heart is in the right place. And prayer, and I just want to tell her prayer does work. And
Yeah.
Also action works.
Yeah.
So, that's what I have to say. And my hat's off to you because you want to change. You do
Yeah.
want to change,
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm with you.
Yes. Mo, go. Let's.
This is what I say to people now. Go and put it on the altar.
Woo!
Amen.
Woo!
Amen.
Woo!
And to people like her.
Yes.
Go put it on the altar.
Go put it.
Amen.
I'm talking about if you try to put it on that altar always works. And sis, I just want to keep you encouraged and let you know we are in action. We're in action every day. Every day we get up and we do that small action that makes a change. We are in action. And it's not just, we don't have to be standing arm in arm at the fire lines with guns. Hell, we could be standing across the street from each other with the same mindset, and that is like us being arm in arm. So it's, we are in action, and I want to keep you encouraged, and I want to ask the Most High God to bless you in Jesus' name. We just come and we just praise your holy name, Father, for keeping us encouraged in this town, in this country, in this planet full of wolves, Lord. You send us sheep, other sheep, to keep us encouraged. And we just praise your holy name, and we just thank you so much for your son, Yeshua, Lord. We just thank you so much, Lord, that you have chosen us, Father. You said we are the called, those who are moldable and teachable, Lord, and we are moldable and teachable and spreading your kingdom glory, your word on the kingdom, and giving you all the glory, all the honor, all the praise. In Jesus' name, I want to thank you so much, guys, for joining me tonight. Amen. And I just want to thank my guests so much. You said, well, my cousin said, what is going on in the world right now is a result of us not fighting the right way. We should have prayed to the right way to fight in the natural. Look back in the Bible when it was time to go to war. They prayed and asked for strategy. The problem is we stopped striking the ground. So here we are. I feel like we still striking the ground, cousin. I feel like just like we evolve, as a people, we have evolved in strategy, and I just feel like, right now, Black people have to be on the inside of these rooms, making those subtle changes because that giant has grown as we have grown as a people. But if you look at where our ancestors were and where we are right now, to me, I feel like we're in a much better place, and Wanda says, I don't agree with her, but I do understand her frustration. Kay says, beautiful way to respond to her. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I want to just thank my guests. Antee Gwen is in the building. Mo joined us for the first time. Stacy, and guys, I want to just let everybody know where they can find you and what you got going on. Starting with you, Stacy.
You can find me on Instagram because my Facebook page went. I'm so frustrated. So you can find me on Instagram, and I actually have a YouTube channel too. It's Stacey Midlife. So
Yay.
there you go.
Okay. And Antee Gwen, let them know where they can find you.
Gwen Doria everywhere except X, if there's still such a thing as X.
See, that's her way of fighting right there. She done got off his site. Okay. Mo, let everybody know where they can find you and what you got going on.
Check me out on Nasun Apparel on Instagram or Perfect Curves Apparel on Instagram.
Yes.
And I'm just working on some new stuff coming, And
Yay.
you could subscribe to Drama Hawk Promotions on YouTube.
Yes. Guys, and I will tag them all so that you can find. Thank you so much. And Wanda said your panel was perfection. Great show. Thank you so much for tuning in, Edwanda. I'm definitely going to hit you up so you could be on the show because I absolutely love Edwanda and she is so funny and she is so insightful. Kay said, love the prayer. Beautiful way to respond to her. I want to thank you so much to my audience, guys. Like, y'all make this show, y'all keep me encouraged every time I see y'all subscribing, every time I see the video, the shorts going, you know, with thousands of views on them. I just appreciate you guys for subscribing. Please continue to do that. Please continue to watch the clips we put out every day. And I want to thank you so much, guys. If you are not following me already, please do me a favor and be a real follower. Subscribe to me on Instagram. Subscribe to me mostly on here. If you need to get in touch with me, get in touch with me on my website. It's IamDellHarrison.com. IamDellHarrison.com. And we will see you next time right here on the show. Oh, I forgot to set my outro video. Hold on. Let me just say that again right there. On the top. Okay, guys.